Classic Motorcycle Rides TV is a new travel show where we explore great routes and great destinations on motorcycles. In this episode, our host Karina will lead us on an inspiring journey from Anacortes in the far northwest United States up into Canada and beautiful Victoria, British Columbia.
I'm Karina with Classic Motorcycle Rides TV. We're here in downtown historic Anacortes, where we'll be staying at the Majestic Inn, which embodies the flavor of Anacortes with its old world charm. The name Anacortes is actually a consolidation of the name Anna Curtis, the wife of an early settler. Anacortes was incorporated and named in the late 1800s in an attempt to become the terminus of the Transcontinental Railway. When that failed, it became a lumber town and shipping port. Today, the main industries are oil refining, shipbuilding, and tourism. There's plenty to do, including more than 50 miles of biking and hiking trails and plenty of fine dining.
Well, we have the Tommy Thompson Trail that runs from Anacortes' old train station out to March Point.
Great.
Okay. We have the trails that run all over Whistle Lake, Mount Airy, in that region. And then we have Inception Pass trails that run from Rosario to Bowman's Bay, and then up to the bridge, and then over to the other side of Deception Park.
Anacortes is also filled with a multitude of public artworks. A walk down the town's main drag, Commercial Avenue, will show you the town's history unfolding alongside murals, painted figures, sculptures, and a lot more.
We're all checked in at the Majestic Inn, and tomorrow morning we're going to head up to beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, where we get to witness the Swift Shore International Yacht Races. Let's go!
My name is Alan McCord, and I was the ride safety coordinator for the Victoria ride. We left Anacortes on a Friday morning, made it down to the ferry stop in plenty of time. The challenge comes about when you're, in this case it was loading on the ferry. They do allow the motorcycles to board first after all the walk-on passengers, so the first vehicles will be the motorcycles. They're able to store them easier that way, maximize the space available on the ferry. The challenge comes with traversing from different types of road surface. It's real critical for the riders to watch what they're going to go over and plan their approach so that they can smoothly transition onto the ferry without having to do stops or avoid something at the last minute.
I'm Christy Garner, and I am a rider. If you consider riding behind the rider, and I love being a second wheel, third wheel. Yeah, I love ferry rides. Any ferry ride, anywhere. I don't like the shorter ones, I like the longer ones. I'm always a little concerned when you get on and off at the ferry because they're more truck and car friendly than they are motorcycle friendly. But the companies they seem to have they figured it all out.
This is the harbor at the port of Anacortes. We're about to board the ferry, and in a minute, I'll help you prepare. When planning your trip, remember to check the ferry schedules, and even though reservations might not be required for your motorcycle, it doesn't hurt when you have the ability to do it, just to make sure you can get on the boat. Motorcycles are usually just like walk-ons. They'll make sure to find a space for you. Always make sure to be there about an hour before the ferry leaves, and you're sure to get where you're going. And definitely check out the little shops at the ferry terminal. You never know what you'll find.
Travel time from the mainland to the island ranges between about 1.5 to 2.5 hours. During that time, passengers can get a meal at the commissary, pick up a souvenir at the gift shop, or just relax out on the deck taking in those breathtaking views.
Welcome back. We're here at Friday Harbor on one of the Washington State ferries, and since we're on motorcycles, we didn't need to have reservations unlike cars. Since we had a large group, we did have reservations, and our friend RJ is the one who made that happen. RJ?
Well, good day. Yeah, we did have reservations, but we did not need them. The beauty about going out to the islands on a Washington State ferry is that motorcycles have preferential parking and riding privileges. You can book online, you can call their 800 number and book reservations if you have a larger group. That makes it very convenient for you if your group's going at once, and if you have anyone also moving with you on your travels that has a vehicle, then it's good to keep your group together.
One thing you need to make sure that when you're going to be coming into Canada is to have your passport or your enhanced driver's license, and if you have those, you're good to go.
Most are opting for the enhanced driver's license. There are some other preferential passenger crossings you can do, but the enhanced driver's license and the passport are the most readily available for it.
Great. Come up to Victoria. It's fantastic. Welcome back. We're on the Seattle Ferries heading to Sydney, BC, and once we offload there, we're going to head on down to the Marina restaurant for a bite to eat. After we're done there, we're going to have a beautiful beach ride down to Victoria and check in at the inn at Laurel Point. See you there.
Out there on the island, completely different pace. I mean, you could already feel the pace difference just in the ride from Sydney Harbor down to the marina. And it was a great start. Excellent food, excellent service. Everyone's friendly and happy to see us there. No, it's very similar to U.S. roads. The Canadians, of course, have some different street signs that we're not used to seeing here. They're all international, of course, but they're just ones that we don't see as much. With the speed limits in kilometers, you have to make that adjustment, because if it says 40 kph, that's nowhere near 40 miles per hour. Then we start heading basically across the city of Victoria to get to the old harbor and the area where we were going to stay, where all the boats were for the Swiftsure. It really is another complete change as far as riding goes, because you're now in a very old city, and the streets and the layout is not at all the way things are currently in a modern city.
Now that we've checked in to the inn at Laurel Point, we're going to take a nice little walk through beautiful Victoria with a guided tour by one of the locals that can show us the little hidden gems that the tourists don't go to. Victoria is Western Canada's second oldest city, founded by the Hudson's Bay Company in 1843 as a trading post and fort. Named after the British Queen, Victoria quickly grew as the main seaport for Vancouver Island and British Columbia, and was established as the provincial capital in 1871. For most of the 19th century, Victoria was the largest city in British Columbia, with the highest trade and commerce, until the Transcontinental Railway made Vancouver the largest city. I'm here with Michael C. Williams, the benefactor of the city. So Michael, what do you have to say about your fantastic city? Nothing? Speechless? Camera shy? Here we are at Bastion Square, public market. Let's go see what treasures we can find.
We stayed there for 3 nights, and every day we would start off and have an adventure.
This is the oldest Chinatown in North America. Suddenly, I'm feeling young again.
The thing that stood out to me about Victoria was, and this is over the 2 days, the 2 full days that we were there, what really impressed me is my idea of what a European city would be like without going to Europe is what Victoria is. That's what comes to mind to me.
And one thing you want to remember, whether it's a cell phone or a fancy camera, take lots of pictures.
We walked all over in Victoria. It was very tourist friendly. There's lots of little shops, lots of places to eat. The people were extremely friendly. And it turned out that everything we really wanted was within a walking distance of where we were staying. the locals made you feel like you were at home, not like you were a tourist to be taken advantage of. They welcomed you as if you were a friend or a neighbor.
And a lot of history there. There was a lot of history. You could see the influence of the British Empire, the Empress Hotel that we toured. You could see the high tea settings and the old world effect, and they've preserved that very well.
One of the reasons we chose the destination for Victoria was that weekend was the Swiftsure sailboat races, and quite a few of the gentlemen who did go are sailors.
Here we are down at the docks, and we are surrounded by beautiful, beautiful boats, and we're also hearing some great stories from the participants. I'm here with Vern Burkhart, the chair of the Swiftsure International Yacht Race. Vern, how long have you been the chair for this amazing race?
I've been the chair for 5 years.
Nice, and how did you get involved in it?
Well, I raced Swiftsure for many years, probably 30 years.
Wow.
And a member of the Royal Victoria Yacht Club, which is the host of the race. The first race was in 1930.
Wow.
It's the 73rd running of the Swiftsure International Yacht Race.
And how many boats do you have entered this year?
We have 198 boats,
Wow.
which is up from about the last 10 years. So we're very thrilled about that. Yes. We have a lot of new boats as well, boats that have not done Swiftsure before.
Great. And this is my first time to see this, and so I was trying to understand how it works since there's so many boats.
We have 5 different races. The longest race goes out in the Pacific Ocean from Victoria.
Wow.
It's a long race, 138 nautical miles.
Okay.
And the shortest race is a one-day race.
Okay.
All the other 4 are long distance and they're overnight races, but we have one shorter course that people who don't want to do an overnight race can go out and race all day on Saturday, finish, have a barbecue and a party that night.
That
so
sounds
there's something for everybody.
Yay! I'm here with Bill Elmer on his beautiful, beautiful race boat, and the name is
Anomaly.
Anomaly. And how long, or what's the length of Anomaly?
It's a 52-foot Santa Cruz, and it was built about 31 years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
And how long have you owned this boat?
According to my friend Bruce down below, 16 or 19 years.
19 years.
Yep.
And how many times have you come to the Swiftsure
Well,
race?
over the years, even before I owned this boat, I used to come every year.
Wow, great. So what keeps you coming back to this race?
Oh, the party.
That's a good reason. That's a great reason.
No, it is.
This is major party atmosphere. These guys are sailors. I mean, the crew, it's just wonderful.
I think that's the point of the Swiftsure. Like a lot of events where the grand prize is a trophy or a winning pennant as opposed to a cash prize. It's probably 80 to 85% of the folks that are there for the party. The party beforehand, the party afterwards, the party during, in the case of the Swiftsure, because you can't watch a lot of it from the port that it originates in, but you get to send everybody on their way and then welcome them back returning from the race.
We're all young at heart, and it shows. And it's very positive, and the stories are just phenomenal. If you kind of eavesdrop a lot.
Great parade in the morning while we were having our breakfast and watching all the boats go out. They start heading out pretty early. I think they start releasing them at 7 or 7:30. They start releasing the boats to go out. Beautiful morning, beautiful weather to watch them all heading out. The boat that most folks thought was going to win came in, and my understanding was it was ahead of last year when that came back in. That was the Dragonfly Catamaran, which is just an amazing vessel, absolutely amazing. More sail than anything else out there and less weight than probably most SUVs that you're driving around. Nightlife in Victoria was fun. A lot of people get out and enjoy the weekend. Of course, it was a busy weekend, obviously, that we were there. A lot of places have live music. A lot of places do. Area that they clear out to have dance floors and that sort of stuff. The food was excellent. We did not have bad food anywhere that we went.
my name's George Waters. I'm a bartender at Belleville's. It's a fun place to come. So you've got really good quality. We make all of our sauces in-house. We've got principally local beers on tap. There's an energy here that's relaxed. People out here, a lot of people don't have the same priorities as some of the bigger cities in Canada, such as Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. It's not a matter of consumption and how much can we attain. Anything you do outside in the summer here, you can do in the winter. It doesn't really snow. You can have a great life where you take advantage of the outdoors here.
Hi, I'm Ted, technical producer for Classic Motorcycle Rides. On our trip to Victoria, we had the chance to try out a pair of POV cameras. This is the Real Camera HD Slayer. It features multiple recording modes, interchangeable lenses, and a waterproof case that can submerge up to 40 meters. Unlike many other POV cameras, the basic HD Slayer kit comes with multiple mounts and articulating arms. There are several interesting features of the HD Slayer not typical for POV cameras. The first and most noticeable is the LCD screen. This built-in 1.5-inch screen comes standard on the HD Slayer and can be used as a viewfinder to review footage and access menus to adjust camera settings. We think the HD Slayer is a great value and worth consideration if you're looking for a POV camera. It's very versatile, comes with extra accessories, and produces a quality image at an affordable price.
Any big city, you have to drive very defensively. You have to be very aware of what the gentleman or the lady is doing on either side of you, or behind you, and in front of you. And our sweep guy did a really nice job sometimes of just kind of pulling off to the side a little bit, and the motorists noticed that, and they all stopped. They all let us go through as a group, which was awesome, which was really, really nice.
Keeping the group together in the traffic is not the most important thing that I try to do on the ride. Mainly is to make sure that nobody has an incident where they're trying to keep up or they're worried about that sort of thing. So during the ride, my position is always at the rear of the entire group. That's so that if we do get separated, I can make sure that nobody makes a wrong turn and gets lost. All the routes that we do get pre-written. So anywhere that we're going, we have been there within the last year or so. So we know what to expect. We know if there's an issue. So the only thing we have to adjust for is road construction, usually, that we're not expecting. And we'll have an alternate route already planned. That's one of the most fun things about the rides.
So now that we've left Victoria, we're on our way to Port Renfrew. We have about a 150-mile ride, and I hope this beautiful weather holds out for us.
This is probably as thoroughly thought out and pre-planned as I could imagine, which is great, because once you're on the bike, you don't have to think about those things. They've been planned for you, and that lets you concentrate on the road, concentrate on what's around you, because the country is just to die for.
So Port Renfrew, which was our Saturday ride, was a great location. RJ, the ride coordinator who planned the route, picked that as a good spot. First of all, it's a great lunch. They do a lot of fishing out of there. So if you didn't order the fish when you were at the restaurant, then you missed the purpose of the entire ride. Great roads, neat little 2 lanes. Some places it narrows down to old bridges that are just one way at a time, so you have to alternate, be courteous with the other traffic. Run into Port Renfrew starts to take us out into the Strait of Juan de Fuca, which is much more of an open ocean kind of a feel to it on that coast of the island. So again, the scenery changes again because you're getting more of a wind-blown coast on that area.
Port Renfrew Hotel. We had a fantastic ride, lots of twists and turns and ups and downs, and even a few one-lane bridges. We're gonna grab a bite to eat and see where we end up next. away from the hustle and bustle of Victoria, take a quick ride out to Port Renfrew. They have great things to eat, great things to drink, and enjoy the peace and quiet. Some of you may know what I'm talking about, and some of you may not, but I think I just traveled to the land of the lost. Anyone see any slee stacks anywhere?
Oh, anything along the coast, anything along water and mountains. Water is just because of the scenery, and if we have sweepies, that's even perfect. I love them. I love them.
It's a beautiful day this morning in Victoria. Here we are down at the Fisherman's Wharf. Colorful, colorful buildings. I hear it's full of artisans and plenty of things to eat, so come on with me. Let's go check it out. Tamales!
They take great pride in their gardens, their plantings, and everything was in bloom. So it was as pretty as it gets.
It's so pretty!
It's a very walkable city. You can get to a majority of places without having to use taxis or public transportation. Very walkable city. And to help that, public transportation, taxis, that sort of stuff is always available when you're at the end of your evening and you don't feel like walking back to the hotel. Not a problem.
So in Victoria, there's plenty of ways to get around, but one of the best and cutest ways, the H2O taxi. Come on! All aboard! On our way back to Anacortes, I opted to take a northern route while the rest of the group took a southern one. But we all made it back safe and sound, and we're eager and rearing to take our next adventure in a couple weeks. Until then, get on your bike and ride.
Just a little.
I sure did, but I'm human.
Okay.
I stumble for ya, I stumble. In a minute, I'm gonna help you prepare to travel via motorcycle to ride a ferry.